Peace and great morning, kings and queens. It's another motivation, money-making Monday. It's another motivation, money-making Monday, but one like none other because we got the Cap City team officially in the studio doing this candid conversation. We locking in, talking about Cap City runners, the movement, you know what I mean? Because it's bigger than just a run group, it's a movement.
Facts.
And we just want to just talk to the founders. We representing and we making sure that the world knows about Cap City runners because yes, we run the 518, but we looking to run the world. You know what I'm saying? Cap City runners, we here.
Yeah,
so first and foremost, introduce yourselves.
Don Pliers, a.k.a. Co-founder of Cap City Runners. And certainly an exciting time to be here, man. Talk about what we do.
Markel Brace, a.k.a. one of the co-founders also of Cap City Runners. I'm happy to be here. You know, Mr. Don't Put Your Health on the Shelf. So
No doubt.
let's go, man.
Yeah, you know.
Going, man.
That's what's up, know what I'm saying? He being modest, know what I'm saying? I call him Killer Kells, know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legend in 2 games, know what I'm saying? Not just a
Sergeant. He's a sergeant.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I love the calmness about it, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He a killer, you know what I mean? He kill those
Silent
mouths,
assassin.
and if you put him on the basketball court, know what I'm saying? He'll kill you on the court as well, know what I'm saying? And Don is mild with his as well because, know what I mean? That's the mild killer for real, know what I'm saying? This guy right here done did 2 marathons in 1 year, know what I'm saying? Killed to Chicago, killed New York, know what I'm saying? And now he about to go out and kill Jersey this weekend, know what I mean? So we got a lot going on with Cap City Runners. I'm newer to the game, but you know I'm the silent assassin myself. Know what I'm saying? You know. So yeah, man, we building. Know what I mean? And it's just a pleasure. Know what I mean? Just to have y'all on this platform, Motivation Money Making Monday, and just talking about what we do. Know what I'm saying? And the movement that we started and how we all brought this together. Know what I mean? So like, what did you feel like was the spark that put that thought in your mind that the running was going to be the platform or the way to spark the community and make a movement?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it all started with just an idea, and experience that I had. You know, I've been, doing running for about 8 years now, just kind of chasing my own, like, personal goals and things of that nature. But just kind of being exposed to the running community just outside of Albany, obviously participating in a lot of runs in New York City and just kind of really getting the love and the support from so many people in New York City. I got friends who run in New York City and just really seeing the movement grow in New York City in just the last several years. And so it's always been the idea is like, okay, something's missing here, right? Something, there's a need in Albany to just kind of really get people moving and just kind of test the waters with running and distance running and all those other things and just introduce people to the sport because it is a sport that doesn't have the representation of us. And so when you see black and brown communities that are really gravitating to the sport, that was the idea. So my concept and my idea was like, yo, let's get something going. You know, we lack diversity in terms of the sport of running, and we lack a group, an organization, a crew, a movement here in the city of Albany. And certainly we've had, Black Girls Runs. Shout out to Olivia, who's been the captain and the coach for a Black Girls Run here in the city of Albany for the sisters for the last several years. But it was certainly time to, build on that. Certainly build and continue to grow the community here. So put the call out one Saturday morning in June of 2023.
Yes.
It's like start tagging people on social media, about to start this walk run group. Kels was following me on IG, and I saw him putting a few miles in, a few days a week.
A few, for real.
Just a few, like 4. There's only like 4, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Just doing it leisurely.
You was getting your miles in. I was like, I'm tagging these brothers in and see what's up.
Yeah.
And so, you guys showed up on that one Saturday morning.
Right.
And the rest is history, man. So, of course, our mission at Cap City Runners to inspire the community to run by running in the community, and because we are all individuals of influence in the community, you know, there's inspiration that we can draw and provide people just by the fact that we're just doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like it's a powerful movement. You know what I'm saying? And I felt it when you put the call out or put the post out, you know what I mean, to, yo, you starting this run walk group, you know what I mean, and just to show up and be present, you know what I mean? And it was something that always was near and dear to my heart as far as like running and all that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? I seen Kels put the message in. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been the one to be like, I'm gonna just show up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I just showed up. You know what I'm saying? And all of us got together. You know what I'm saying? And I could feel the power in the presence.
Right.
You know what I mean? From the start. You know, and it was just being consistent. You know what I mean? And doing what we was doing. You know. Yeah. So like, what made you show up that first Saturday?
Well, for me, it all started like running was just a weight loss journey at first. It was just a health thing. Like I said, don't put your health on the shelf. That was just my thing. And I was just running a few miles, like for real. That's it. Like 2.5, 3 miles, 4 miles. And like I said, it all started. Don put the call out, met up. That's like the first time I actually ran with a group of people. And just the feeling of running with a group just showed me like, yeah, this can really impact something. It can really, you know what I mean, start to spark something. So who would know? Now we're running all over the place. Like I went from my 4 miles to 10, and it's just whatever, you know what I mean? At this point, so that's how I know it's just the feeling. Like when you're running with a group of people and everybody doing the same thing, putting in the same pain, you already know, like it's gonna spark. I mean, that's my thing. Embrace the pain. So that's how I knew it was gonna be a good thing.
And the important thing too is like, you know, and you've said this before, like, you know, you have different sports that have entry points that, you know, you got equipment, you need equipment, you know, you need this, you need that, and the third, but there's a low barrier of entry with running, and essentially, and it's more than just running. It's just the idea of just getting people moving, just getting people really be engaged and taking an active role in their physical health and well-being, especially in our community. So it was very intentional for us to have that first meetup right here in Arbor Hill, Albany. You know, we met up at the Palace, and just to really, again, to take that journey to go through the community and for the people to see us as a collective. You know, a lot of people have seen me around the city and running around and, you know, putting miles in and things of that nature. That's just my passion. But, you know, when there's a collective, you know, I would say the strength in numbers.
Absolutely.
And in order to have a movement, you need movement, right? And so you got to be able to move people to really just try it out. And again, there's no expectation or requirement that, once you join Cap City Runners, you got to run a marathon and not like that. It's like, you know, we got people who just, hey, I just want to be around other people and like-minded people who are doing something positive, right? So we have all types of
just be around the energy,
man,
because that's what it's all about.
Energy is gonna take care of itself.
Absolutely. I mean, it's gonna push you to do more. It's gonna make you have that mindset to be like, yo, I want to get involved. I want to do more with the running game. But even if it doesn't hit you in that way, it's just the collectiveness of running together and being together with other positive energy and like-minded individuals that get you out there, that get you going, and just be like, yo, I can do other things in other areas of my life. You know what I'm saying? By tackling this one thing that I wanted to do and doing with a collective group. And I think that for myself is one of the most powerful pieces to being in Cap City Runners is the fact that we do it together. And I always wanted to show the power of Black men working together and as a collective consistently, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like in the community, it seems like the mindset is like it's not going to work when we work together. But if we show the opposite on how we can work together and how we can build together, even if it's just starting out with the running aspect and we take it to other levels, then we start a whole movement that spills over and infects and impacts other areas of the community. You know what I'm saying? So we not just inspiring people to run, we inspiring people to work together, be a collective, do things consistently, and build in other areas. So
and to get active too. Regardless of what your journey looks like. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be running. I mean, it could be walking or whatever the case may be. But, you know, just really, you know, as Kel said, don't put your health on the shelf. You know, our community generally faces, you know, has the highest rates in terms of, you know, obesity, diabetes, you know, all those things that plague our community. So, you know, when we talk about just the benefits of running or just moving in terms of heart health and all of those other things, you know, it's essential. It's essential. And again, it's beyond just like, you know, chasing medals and races and personal, you know, goals for marathons, but it's just, hey, what can we do together to really have an impact on the community? And that's always just kind of been the person I've been, and I've watched you for many years. You know, that's the kind of person you've been, and getting to meet Kels and, you know, and growing with Kels and knowing him over the last couple of years, it's like, it's what we're about.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. It makes it a lot easier when it's like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you was gonna say something?
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
You know, he's quiet. You know,
no doubt.
I'm listening to you guys.
But let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? Even though the founders are strong black men and we want to encourage the black community to get involved, we are very diverse. You know what I'm saying? Like that barrier of entry, we welcoming to everybody that wants to be involved with Cap City Runners, because the energy don't have no color, the energy don't have no faces, the energy doesn't have any pace. It just goes, you know what I'm saying? And it just is, you know what I mean? And we want to be infectious with that positive energy that we got and make sure that everybody that comes aboard, that wants to be a part of it, that wants to run with us, has that capabilities to do it. It's an open door policy, and we want everybody to get involved, because that's the other aspect of the community.
That's the beautiful thing about it, too. You know what I mean? The diversity of it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, we got people from all walks of life, ages, stages, paces, faces, abilities, you know, and there hasn't been anyone that has shown up on a Saturday and not say like, yo, this is awesome.
Right.
Like, I'm so glad that I came.
Yes.
Or, you know, the energy is welcoming, it's warm, it's inviting. Absolutely. You know, and again, that's just kind of like what we desire to do, is just build a space in the community where people can just kind of just be themselves and just have a great time and come around good energy.
Right.
You know,
that's community. That's what it is.
And that's what makes us
all about.
That's what makes us unique. You know, certainly, you know, there are other organizations in the capital region. Many of them are performance driven. And obviously there's the performance aspect of running where you're like, okay, I got to be faster. I want to run more. I want to do more. I want to do this. I want to hit my targets and all that. But you know, I've heard people say, you know, there's no pressure here in terms of that.
Pressure.
Right? There's no pressure to perform. There's performance element that's available in Cap City.
Right.
But, you know, we're all just, you know, running 101. If that's what you need, or if you're like, yo, if you're in the grad level, you know, doctoral level of a runner, you know, you got that too.
Right. No doubt.
The fun part is just showing up, running, coming together, breaking bread, doing things together. Like the training piece. The training piece is not as fun. If you want to take it from me,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
he's trained too.
We all train, and we all know. And the training part for me is not the fun part.
Right.
That's more, to me, it's more of an individual thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But actually getting together with the community and the group on Saturdays, Tuesday mornings, that's the fun part.
Sunday mornings.
Running with no expectations, no standards, just out there, just moving
having
and
a good time.
just having a good time.
Yeah.
So
making memories. And y'all didn't say it. Y'all want to be I'm gonna say it. Know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other groups out there, but there's only one Cap City Runner. Know what I'm saying? You know, baby, we do the damn thing. We bring people together. We got great energy, great people. Know what I'm saying? That's a part of this movement. And know what I'm saying? We are definitely here to stay and definitely here to inspire the community to run and just to be a part of this great energy. And it's not just about the running aspect. I want to highlight that because, you know, in our community and other communities as well, we have a big issue with mental health as well, you know, and people don't understand the mental health benefits of running, you know. And every time that I go out and run, I get filled with, you know, energy. My days end up being better. The way that I interact with other people is better. And the conversations that we have as a group, you know, you get to lean on one another to talk about the issues and the things that's going on in your world, you know what I'm saying? And it makes it more culpable, you know what I'm saying? When you have like-minded people that's around, that's may not be going through the same things, but can at least be an open ear to what you dealing with. Know what I'm saying? So all of these aspects of what running brings is not just for the physical, but it's for the mental as well. And people need to, understand that aspect as well about the run game and see that, it's other aspects that we touch on, and it becomes more of a lifestyle more so than anything.
Definitely a lifestyle, definitely.
Yeah.
Clears your mind. It's one of those things, you out there, you know what I mean? The time is not interrupted. You know what it is, and you just drain off everything that's been heavy on you.
Right.
You just feel lighter. You just feel better. And for me, it's like you checked the box. You completed something today.
Right.
I went out. I set out something I'm going to do. I set out how many miles I'm going to run or what route I'm going to run, and I completed it. Sometimes just starting your day off with checking the boxes, knowing that's going to be a good day.
Right.
So that's the thing that helps me mentally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just even from the just the mental benefits, as you mentioned, like, running has been my outlet. I mean, I used to be a gym rat. I used to do all of that. That was one outlet, one source of therapy. But once I kind of got into like running and distance running and just kind of having that time to just you and your thoughts, you and your mind, or if you grieving, just an opportunity to grieve personally and individually. If you just kind of like going through some things, just kind of processing. Even some of the greatest ideas that have come, that I've kind of like followed up on, have come from just thinking and just kind of processing, just kind of going through the day, or just kind of planning my day. All right, cool. And then also like understand, like, I just complete the hardest part of my day. When you talk about getting up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, to be out by 5:30, 6 in the morning, to run 6, 7, 8 miles before most people are waking up, brush their teeth, or turning over. That's an accomplishment for me.
Absolutely.
Like that's a source of pride for me. It's like, okay, I just did something hard, and now the rest of my day is just pretty much downhill.
Right.
And so, in terms of the mental aspects, like, again, it's, there've been so many opportunities for me to just kind of find reprieve, to find a mental break. Sometimes you're just processing, as men, we deal with so many pressures.
Yeah, 100%.
Just the day-to-day things of like family and kids and work and jobs and other responsibilities.
Yeah.
But, we don't take the time to really take care of ourselves in a way that we need to in order to continue pouring into the things that mean so much to us.
Right.
And so to me, running is like, okay, this is my opportunity to just kind of refill my cup.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah,
when you do it,
those are the best days, though.
But again, it's like,
those are the best days, though.
I can go out for a 2 to 3 hour 2 to 3 hour run, and just kind of feel like, okay, I've just kind of unloaded so many things, or just kind of just got things off my mind, or just kind of, again, spark some great ideas.
Right. Nah, I agree with you 100%. And like, I was looking at it in the frame of when you drive, you see certain things. When you on a bike, you probably see even more things. But when you running, you get to see the whole aspect of the community. You know what I'm saying? Like the drawings on the wall, the graffiti that you done missed and rolled past 100 times, or that small business that's in the area that you done drove past 100 times, but now that you know it's there, and you meet certain people, you see certain people that you definitely will pass by if you driving.
Right.
You're not gonna even have that connection with them. But when you running, you know what I'm saying, you run into them, you see them, even if you want to go and you spin back and be like, yo, what's up? I'll holler at you, know what I mean? That small interaction and that relationship gets established. I done built relationships with crossing guards, you know what I'm saying? Just off the strip of me just running past them, you know what I mean, every other day, you know what I mean? So even that is community building in itself, you know what I mean? Just seeing you and be like, and it brings a level of safety to the people that's around as well, because if they know that a person is out here running, you have a different mindset about, the things that's taking place in the community. Because you see something positive happening, like in the aspect of somebody running, health, taking care of their health, and just saying good morning to a person that ain't gonna get a good morning from anybody else when you running past them. You know what I'm saying? So all of those different aspects, you know what I mean? It's so enriching to the community. You know what I'm saying? You know, and all of those aspects is brought out through the sport or outlet of running. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so huge to me, and so why I've been so committed to Cap City Runners as a whole. You know, just having all of those different components to it. You know what I mean? It's just so much bigger than just getting out there and running. Even though those things are great and it's health related, but it's so healthy for everybody that you come in contact with. It's healthy for yourself. It's healthy for mentally and all of those things, man. So it's huge, man.
Absolutely.
I say
motivating a lot of people too. You know what I mean? I always run into people all the time. Like, yo, very motivating, very inspiring. Just that action right there, running. I mean, running. It ain't nobody's paying attention how fast you're going. Nobody's paying attention to that. The fact that you out there and you doing something consistent and positive, that sends a message.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the number of people who, like, as you said, like, you know, you could just be running the streets. You could be on Clinton Ave.
Right.
And keep going.
Right.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. Get it. Get that work.
Yeah.
I need to be out there with you, but, you know, not
Right,
right now.
right,
But but you doing it.
But the
you know what
seed
I'm
is
saying?
planted.
Right.
The seed is
But the
planted.
seed is-
It'll be whether they water it or not, but yeah, the seed is planted.
Yeah. And honestly, man, my you know, the vision that I've always had is like, you know, you should wake up in the city of Albany, and not just like certain parts of Albany, but you could wake up in the city of Albany, Arbor Hill, West Hill, wherever, and just kind of see people just cruising. Like people cruising. It's happening everywhere. Every city, major city you go to, whether it's New York City, D.C., wherever, like you see black and brown people who have embraced just physical activity. And again, it's not so much for the accolades or the medals or chasing personal records or things like that. It's just like, yo, people just moving.
Right.
And so, again, I see that, you know, here in the city and with what we continue to do is just continue to build that. And we've been fortunate where we've had a lot of, you know, businesses, you know, partner with us and, you know, really buy into the vision and the mission, what it is that we're trying to do, especially in like the downtown Albany area, which is, you know, right there in terms of Arbor Hill. So yeah, we respect what you're doing. Like, how can we support? How can we partner? You know, whether it's Fresh and Fly Clothing as being our first hub and meeting spot, to now Alias Coffee and others who have said, yeah, we certainly want to support what you're doing and happy to partner. You know, Downtown Nutrition, you know, Juices Forever. You know, so many entrepreneurs,
V-Fit,
in the community who just say, look, let's work together. Let's grow this thing
And we
collectively.
open. We open to
we,
it all.
we done grew
we
to,
try to engage
you know, the
it.
best
That's-
fitnesses
yes.
and the Fleet Feets and all that. You know what I'm saying? We done partnered up with all of those organizations, and they see what we doing, what we have accomplished, and the fact that we stay. I think the consistent part is what, you know, drives it home for everybody. Because, you know what I mean?
Gotta
you could
keep
see
our
somebody
foot on the gas,
right?
man.
You know what I mean? You
Got
can see
to.
somebody do it once or twice, but once they see the consistency and they see the growth in it, you know what I'm saying? And how many people, like, everybody has that. Even though we all do 3, 4, 5, 6, we probably wear about 7 other hats. The first conversation that they lock in with us with is, oh, yo, no, I see y'all running all the time, this, that, I want to get what you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that running aspect, you know, like you mentioned, has that low barrier entry where it's like everybody wants to get involved. Even if they know they should be doing it, they going to mention that and say, you know, I want to get out there with y'all. But they, you know, let's be clear, it's no pressure.
Right.
There's no pressure.
None at
you know
all.
what I mean? I just want y'all to show up. You know what I mean? As long as you show up, the rest gonna take care of the
Come
rest.
through, take the picture.
Absolutely.
Take the picture.
So, you know what I mean? Get in the
Stop
flick.
playing,
Flick it up.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
At least come
Just
for
be
the
a part.
photo op. You
Right.
know?
You know what I mean?
Community, man.
You know,
Come through, man.
drink some
Come
coffee
get
or
some
something.
coffee,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Just
Straight
talk.
up. You know what I mean? The rest gonna take care of
That's
themselves.
it.
The rest. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to get out there eventually.
That's it. That's
You know what I mean?
all.
Word.
We're gonna, our energy goes through each other. You feel what I'm
That-
saying?
that-
That's how that
100%.
works. So once you
100%.
show up, you're gonna be like, yeah, I gotta get out there. I can get out there.
Yeah.
Cause you can walk. You can. I mean, it's your own pace.
Right.
Nobody racing.
And I
We
think,
chilling.
that's where people kind of get hesitant, right? In terms of like, okay, they see us and expect that everybody needs to be at this
that
particular
level,
level. Nah, that's not the case. I didn't start there. I mean, I remember, you know, when I started doing a little mile or two here, which was cool, and I've always been athletic, so a mile or two here was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I'll see, my boy, Dre, shout out to Dre in the city, like Saturday morning, 18 miles. Like, 18 miles?
Yeah.
For what? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's just like unfathomable. Like, 18 miles just on a Saturday morning. I was like, no ways. But
once again, New York City,
incrementally,
though, it's happening.
Right.
New York City is one of those cities you go look around.
And they just doing it. It's just a normal thing.
We running.
Right.
Everywhere you look, every barrel you go to.
Right.
They
it's
running.
Runners.
They moving. It's runners.
Right. But it's just as an individual, it's like, okay, I didn't start there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't start running 26 miles. I didn't start doing marathons until like, probably 4, 5, 6 years after I actually kind of got my feet wet, which was kind of doing a 5K, just on a Sunday morning. It's like, okay, it's not too bad, 3 miles, whatever case may be, and then gradually to 4 and 5 and then 8. And I remember did my first 10 mile, I was like, I'm feeling accomplished. I got double digits under my belt,
Exactly.
Drained after that. First 10, you like,
gassed.
Where's the IV?
Right. Yeah. I felt super accomplished after that.
You feel like you're the champ.
Yeah, word up. You couldn't tell me nothing, man.
The 10 lost things.
Double digits. Yeah, that's the double digits. Once you hit that 10, you like, I can do anything.
Let's go.
Yeah. Where the rest of the 16
now you don't want to fail at nothing.
Right.
Now whatever you set out is like, I got to check this off.
Absolutely.
Man. That's
a fact. Absolutely.
But the important thing too is like, and what people don't see is the education aspect of it, right? How much educating you have to do in terms of, again, just like how to properly, have nutrition. What do you eat? What are the foods that are going to help provide you with the energy that you need for a distance run? Hydration, what does that look like? It ain't just, sipping a bottle of water and heading out the door for 10 miles. It's like, okay, how do I think strategically about how am I hydrating? How am I replenishing the electrolytes that I'm losing from sweating, right? How am I replacing the glycogen storage in my muscles that helps to give me the energy that I need, in running, right? And so just the opportunity, I feel like the last 2 to 3 years for me have been like the most impactful because of the education I've gained in the last 2 to 3 years, and just kind of imparting that on the team, and the team, the crew. And
that's what I was about to say. This Dr. Dawn right here, like,
the potion right here, the potion for the motion side.
You done taught me everything that I know now about running. Before I was just getting out there, watch, no nothing, I wasn't even clocking myself. I was just getting out there and moving, know what I'm saying? And then all the other elements, eating good the night before, making sure you're getting your carbs in, drinking, know what I'm saying? A lot of liquids, know what I'm saying? And just carbing up, all those different. I ain't know none of that, know what I'm saying? Before
regular.
I got with,
out there regular.
Exactly.
I'm going to go I'm tired.
More or less,
come back looking like Tyrone Bingham's lips is all white, dry, dehydrated.
Wonder why you shaking.
Word up. It's crazy. For real, man. But the education has been, know what I'm saying, enriching for sure. Yeah, facts. Yeah, man. And that's another part of, the run game and what Cap City Runners bring to the table, you know what I mean? The educational aspect of it. And just, feeding you in every aspect, you know what I mean? Wherever route that you want to go, we got the academics, the education part of it, the community building part of it, the camaraderie, all of that is there. You know what I'm saying? And
fellowship, the socializing.
And when it's time to socialize, we let out, you know what I mean? We turn up too. We turn up. We heavily invested in the culture in every aspect, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's hip hop, R&B, you know what I'm saying? Our playlists get us through all of these different runs, you know what I mean? So shout out to all the artists that, the artists always big them up because they get me through my runs, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, we heavily invested in every aspect of the culture, you know what I'm saying? So, I love what we got going on, but we here now, right?
Yes,
and we building right now. We done accomplished almost 2 years. We going on our second year anniversary.
June, baby.
Where do we see Cap City Runners in the next 1 to 3 years? What do we want out of it? What do we want to see for the community, for what this movement that we started?
I mean, absolutely. We want to definitely get the kids involved.
Yes.
That's a big thing. Obviously, they are the most important part of community is the children. So we have to definitely get them involved. Definitely, especially like on our Saturday morning runs. If you got children, kids, little cousins, nephews, we would like to get them involved.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's huge.
moving forward,
That's
Yeah,
huge.
absolutely. You know, in the next several years, and even in the next year, you know, the vision is to, you know, to have Cap City kids. I mean, we have plenty of members who have small children. I mean, I've got a 6-year-old. You know, Kel's got a 6-year-old. You know, last summer they did their first race, and it's like there's that proud moment where you see like
that's dope.
your kid kind of like taking on a passion. You've had your daughter come out
Yep.
and run with us, and so think about like how, you know, an opportunity just to cultivate you know, our kids to just really be introduced to something beyond basketball, football, you know, baseball. Yeah, you know, we have our kids that run track and field and cross country, but you know, certainly just to be able to just be engaged in something that's fun, engaging, educational. So yeah, there's certainly the vision is, of course, to launch Cap City Kids, you know, a running education program for our youth in the community, bring something new and different. Certainly continued growth in terms of the impact. You know, I wake up in the middle of the night like, man, I see us having, you know, members of like, or just not even members, but just having a community of like, hey, on a Saturday morning when they're having 50, 60, 70, 100 people, you know, just come out, just show up. You know, we're just gonna shut down the city. Everybody come on out because this is the thing to do. And, and
it is
so,
a thing too. It is,
you know, and it's a draw too. You know, think about, you know, Albany is such a transient city. You got people who come from all over. You know, you got people. You know, we have someone who's come and joined us who just moved from California who's looking for a group, right? Because they were active. So again, it's being able to have that access and availability to people, and then of course continue to have community impact.
Yes.
You know, just beyond the running space, but certainly engaging in, you know, the community issues that, you know, that challenge our city. You know, standing at the forefront, in the center, and supporting some of those important issues that face our community. You know, certainly bringing resources.
Yes.
You know, certainly want to be able to be in a position to offer and provide scholarships for young people with our Cap City Runners, you know, foundation once we get there, you know what I'm saying, and really just be more than just a run crew. Like we're going to be an organization that is going to be really impactful in the city in so many ways, and partnering with so many people and community organizations to bring this mission forward.
Absolutely.
How about you? What you think?
Yeah, listen, man, like right now in this very moment, I feel, and it's more than just a feeling, it's a knowing that, you know, Cap City Runners is much more than just a run group. It's a movement, you know what I'm saying, in every aspect of it. You know, just from the lives that we've already touched and the people that we have already touched, it allows me to know that we on the right track to growing this in so many different ways, where people come and just want us to just talk about health and wellness, you know what I'm saying? About mental health and things of that nature, like all of those different aspects that we going into and the way that we impact and influence the next generation as well. It just allows me to know, like, yo, we on the right track. We on to something that is much bigger than we even imagined that we was gonna be a part of or see when we first took that initial, you know what I mean, commitment on that Saturday. You know what I mean? When we came, like, I didn't even know we was gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? But we here, and we are so we done grown leaps and bounds just from that first Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So I just know where all of our minds continuously working together and moving in that direction. Is no limit to what we can accomplish and what we can create and bring into existence that connect and help with other things that's going on in the foundation, the Cap City Kids, all of those things. Like I said, it's a movement, and it has no limits. So.
And also just leveraging the sport to just continue to bring awareness and community, right? I mean, I think back to last year when we did, the Juneteenth
ooh,
challenge,
yes.
right? That was a powerful,
major,
impactful, not only challenge for us in terms of physically, but just raising the awareness in terms of the commemoration of the 159th year of emancipation with Juneteenth. And as we approach the 160th, 160,
do it again.
Another opportunity to raise awareness and to kind of educate people, but use the sport that we love and then we cherish to bring awareness and to do something that's physically beneficial with running 160 miles for the month, but also educating the community in terms of like why we do this, why this is important aspect of our history. Obviously June when we talk about Men's Mental Health Month and all the other things, all the awarenesses that we have the opportunity to just impact just through the sport. So in June I expect that we're gonna have like a men's focus where we bring all the men, invite all the men. We got Father's Day in June, so certainly plugging it right now, fellas.
So many,
get ready to go.
Different aspects, man. And that Juneteenth is big because the way that I look at it, it's just a way to also let the community know, let the people know, let the world know that we still on this run to true freedom, to true justice, to true happiness. You know what I'm saying? All the things that we desire to have in this life or in this country or wherever we at in this world. We still on that mission, you know what I'm saying? And the fight for all of those things don't stop. And what better way to highlight that than through something that we all love, and that's the sport of running or the activity of running, you know, man? So 160, we had 160 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, which gave us our so-called freedom, but we still on that fight for true freedom. Freedom,
Can't wait for it, man. That was the highlight of the year last year.
It was powerful. That was a powerful movement.
Good thing. You put that together too. That was dope.
You know, and I'm glad that everybody showed up and showed out for it. You know what I'm saying? And it really impacted the community. Just seeing people like cheering us on and wanting to just
participate wherever they can too. I mean,
whether it was just for one walk, you know what I'm saying? It was powerful, you know what I mean? And it's a way to bring the whole community together, man. So I'm looking forward to that.
The other thing too, man, as I just kind of sit and think, I think about people who are just kind of like, okay, what's the benefit? Obviously, there's a physical benefit, but I think about all of the life lessons in which running is applicable. Right, all of the parallels in terms of like being able to do hard things and to remain persistent and consistent. Right, Nipsey talked about life being a marathon. Right, you got stages.
Shout out to Z too.
Yeah, shout out to Z. Shout out to
that's Miss I could do hard things.
Long live Nipsey. But Nipsey's whole philosophy is like the marathon, because the reality is life is a marathon, man. You're gonna go through your ups, you're gonna go through your downs, you're gonna go through your highs and your lows and your happiness and your sadness. But the thinking is like, do I have the mental toughness to continue? Like when I face a challenge, when I face a barrier, how am I gonna respond? Certainly, it's the same thing with running. I mean, I faced challenges and races and cramps and all that. It was like, I could quit, but I didn't come this far just to come this far.
Absolutely.
Right? So you
this is what we train for.
Embrace the pain.
Embrace the pain. It's crazy though, man, because running is one of those things, man. It's painful and it feels good at the same time.
That runner's high.
It's like,
it's a whole different high.
Like you say about the marathon, it's ups and downs. That's how life is. You don't have hard days, good days, but 100%. Just waking up, breathing, and seeing it feel good to do that too.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? So,
like I always say, man, we don't have to. We get to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many people who are laid up in the hospital or, have certain physical conditions that just don't allow them to do something that we take for granted. Like we get to run, we don't have to. And people are like, oh man, I gotta run. I have to run 5 miles in this train. Like, nah, you get to because you're working towards a bigger goal, right? And the same thing with waking up, whether you have to go to work. No, you get to go to work.
Right.
Somebody can't work today for whatever reason, right? You have the ability to go to the employment, or I get to open up my store today.
Right.
You know, something that I've built and I've created for over 18 years. Like, this is an honor and a privilege because, you know, fact is, many of our ancestors didn't have the opportunities that we had, or they had to run for different reasons.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when we have the ability to freely run, you know, and to really think about, like, you know, this is in fact a privilege.
Right.
You know, this is an honor to be able to do so. You know, R.I.P. to Ahmaud Arbery, who was doing something that he loved.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, got killed doing something that he loved.
Right.
And so that also is a reminder too that we still have that marathon race of life that we still got to continue to run for. You know, for equality, for equity, for justice, and all those things. And again, these are the things that most impact our community. So how do we continue to just create these parallels and bring these worlds together? It's like, look, you know, here's how we're going to impact it.
Right.
You know, some people, you know, you think about every sports legend, you know, the Bill Russells and the Dr. J's and the Jackie Robinsons. Everyone had a social, you know, consciousness to them through their sport.
Absolutely.
You know, regardless of what it was.
Right.
You know, so it's the same thing, raising
Real
awareness.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the real ones anyway, right? That's a fact. The real ones. And so that's what we'll continue to do, and just kind of to help be an entity that's going to help to advance, you know, the agendas of our community with the support of allies. And again, our group is diverse, you know, all faces, paces, colors, genders, whatever.
Absolutely.
And people believe in it, and that's the most important thing. I mean, to think, you know, this guy right here, you know, 2 years ago was doing 4 miles and then ran his first marathon in New York City, which is the hardest one of all, right?
Yeah.
Like, New York City is the hardest world major marathon. And
Sure felt like it.
That's why he the killer, man.
It sure felt like it.
But he was able to do something that he didn't even ever think about doing.
That's because of the community, though, man. The thing that we built. Like, my energy comes from that.
Yeah.
It's
bigger than me. I ain't just running. Now I'm running. I'm representing.
Right. Absolutely.
That's how
you got that on your back. Yeah, absolutely.
So I always hype myself when I put this right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is Cap City Runners, man. You know what it is. We got miles on the plate. You know what it is. Yeah. It's time to put it on the stove, baby.
Yeah.
Word.
Facts. Any last words, man? As we about to get up out of here, man, and
we got it. I mean, you know what it is. The 4 M's. What's that? What did we say we was gonna say?
Motivation, money making Monday. We gonna do Metal Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Motivation Metal Monday.
Metal making Mondays.
Metal making Mondays.
Yeah, and that metal represents anything in life. It ain't just the physical metal that you get after you complete a race. Your metal could be, look, the fact that I woke up and I completed the day.
Right.
You know, the fact that, you know, I went ahead and completed something I was working on for a week. You know what I'm saying? Or a year. You know, or I get to wake up and go to school. Like, whatever your medal is, right? You know, I always learned this thing that I used to share with my students back when I was, you know, in the school buildings. Is the 10 most powerful 2-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. So whatever that it is, you're in control.
Absolutely.
Control the controllables. Like, you are in control of whatever that it is. It's up to you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, with that being said, you know, obviously, you know, Cap City Runners, check us out. Saturdays, 7:45, Alias Coffee.
Yes.
You know, Crew and Coffee, which is the new vibe on Saturday mornings.
Absolutely. It's such a vibe.
Such a vibe. Yeah. Catch that Cap City vibe. But certainly, you know, if you're looking for, you know, a warm, welcoming, vibey atmosphere and community to just to be a part of, this is what we do. That's what we here.
Absolutely.
To inspire the community to run by running in the community, and we do run in the community.
Absolutely.
You know, whether
no judgment zone.
No judgment zone. So whether it's Arbor Hill, whether it's West Hill, touch the other sides, downtown, you know, South End. Touch Troy too. You know, that's the other thing when we talk about.
We talk about connecting it. We coming everywhere, all over the 518.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the other
and
thing
beyond.
too. when we talk about growth and expanding our reach,
Yes.
you know, Cap City meetups in Troy, Cap City meetups in Schenectady, Cap
Yes.
City meetups in Rensselaer.
Yes.
You know, really just impact the 518. It ain't just the city of Albany.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I'm not just a co-founder either. Know what I'm saying? I'm also
Also a member. That's what I'm saying. Also a member.
also the official member. Know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. Know what I'm saying? You know, I'm representing the entrepreneur aspect of it right now. Know what I mean? Because we businessmen at the end of the day as well. But we take this for real, man. This Cap City Runners is a part of our life. Know what I'm saying? And what we do it for, know what I'm saying, is a part of our life and a part of our culture, man, and the way that we live in each and every day. We done turned this into a lifestyle. So get involved, be a part, know what I'm saying? And the motivation aspect is just what put the key in the ignition, but it's the discipline and the consistency of what we got going on that keeps it going. So Motivation Money Making Monday, we here. We gonna motivate people with the medals, because that medal aspect is an ongoing thing, because you gotta, whatever goal that you setting for yourself for that week, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You bring that to the table when we on this Motivation Money Making Monday platform, and you show off your accomplishments. And then the accomplishments don't stop, because it's not an end goal, it's a part of the journey of just being your best self. So with that said, Cap City Runners, we here to stay. The movement is movement. It's moving.
Who are we?
Cap City Runners.
What do we run?
518.
Let's go. Let's get it.
The movement is moving.
Absolutely.
Peace.